Hey guys, and welcome to History of Star Wars. Today we are here to give our reaction and I guess breakdown to episode 8 of The Mandalorian.
Yes, had to put it off for a few days because,
We had to recover.
And you don't want to give spoilers. This was very much a thing of no spoilers, please.
Yeah, so from here on out, there will be spoilers. If you haven't watched it yet, turn this video off and go and watch it.
Yeah.
We'll give you 3 seconds. Okay, so, oh my god. I don't even know where to start.
It was alright. I'm joking, it was so good.
Okay, let's start chronologically within the episode.
Okay.
So the episode starts with Boba Fett and Mando go into some kind of canteen where they meet Bo-Katan and the other female Mandalorian lady, I've forgotten her name.
Same.
But even just that scene, just seeing Mando and Boba Fett side by side, this like that silhouette shot of them in the doorway. Oh man, straight away I was like, this episode's amazing.
Yeah, and I loved all the, I love what Bo-Katan was saying, just all about, your donor and stuff. And talking about, Django and stuff, obviously, that's a whole new video of the history of all that.
Yeah, but it was also really cool to have her bring up the fact that his voice is recognisable as a clone voice.
Yes, he is basically, he is a clone,
He is the clone.
A non-fast agent one.
Yeah, it's not something you really think about when you think Star Wars.
No, not with Boba Fett. You don't. You kind of forget for a while.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And then the little fight scene they had was also really cool.
Yeah, I love that. When again, the one that we can't remember the name of, when she used her jetpack to actually being able to basically using it to be able to outstrength him. That was just. It was really nicely done, choreography-wise and everything. It was something different. It was awesome. And
the fact that Boba Fett kept referring to Bo-Katan as princess, is that anything to do with her chasing?
I guess so.
Kind of some royalty?
Yeah, that would be my guess. I mean...
Or is it just little princess, go away, shut up?
I don't know. I assume it's to do with the whole thing with Mandalore itself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really like the whole introduction of chasing the throne of Mandalore, though. Especially because if you look at Mandalore's history and the Mandalorian Wars, it does have ties with Revan. And if you've ever watched this channel, you know we're Revan fans. So we've been dying to have Revan officially. There's been kind of hints that Revan's canon. I think one of the...
It was the not troop battalions or whatever it was.
In Rise of Skywalker, one of them was named the Revan Battalion, and they were all named after ancient Sith Lords or something.
Yeah.
So... Although, you could kind of say he's canon, it doesn't necessarily mean the Revan we know of from Legends is canon, but it would be cool
so that's the big thing, is they could introduce him and then completely change him. So
What we want is one of the spin-off shows. I mean, we've got Rangers of the Old Republic.
High Republic,
is it? I can't remember, but one of these shows could potentially do something to bring Revan back into canon. We're getting off topic, back to The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So, once Boba Fett finishes fighting...
Yep.
They kind of get together when they realise Grogu's in danger and decide to come up with a plan.
Yes.
Bo-Katan makes Mando agree that she will be given the Darksaber from Moff Gideon.
Yeah, she will be the one to defeat him.
But she doesn't really make that clear. She doesn't say, I'll be the one to defeat him. She just says, he's got something that belongs to me.
That was one of those we're going to make something a bit...
Yeah.
Not controversial, we're going to cause tension. We're going to add tension to it.
And
by not going... All she needs to go is, I need to be the one that actually defeats him.
Yeah. And the second that she says, he has an ancient weapon, it can cut through anything except Beskar. Straight away, I was like, it's going to be a Darksaber and Beskar staff fight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As soon as the episode, when it's hey, this pure Beskar spear, which just happens to be here, it's just
Although when he pulled it out at first to kill the first Dark Trooper, I was like, where did that come from?
That is literally the exact same thing I said.
Is it a telescopic
Beskar
staff?
As soon as I was like, where was he carrying that?
Because it is 6 foot.
Yeah.
You can't just store that down your trousers.
Yeah, exactly. It shows him putting back on his back. So I'm guessing it.
You're not doing any forward rolls or anything like that, are you?
Yeah.
He's fighting very difficult. Anyway, so they make a plan. The plan's pretty cool. Essentially, the girls and Mando go forward on an Imperial shuttle with Boba Fett chasing them, attacking them. And they need an emergency.
I will say, just to rewind slightly. Obviously, they get the information of where everything is from the clone scientist guy. He seemed very quick to be this is how you do it. No, that's there.
Yeah.
It was a weird one because it's like I almost expected a trap because of that, but at the same time, I guess a lot of them do just kind of go, "I just want to live." So
but also, it kind of. I don't want to say it was a trap, but then later on in the episode, we see that Moff Gideon pretty much knows everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So maybe there was some kind of setup there, and maybe he wanted them there.
Also, I like the one who like had the scientist, the Empire guy who was basically like taunting Cara about
Dune, But how stupid is that guy? Someone's pointing a gun at you. You don't make them angry.
Yeah, it was one of those. He was going to die no matter what, wasn't
Although
he?
Although it was cool. I did like that bit.
But yeah, it's all bringing everything back. Like
Alderaan, the Death Stars.
Yeah.
I like that whole conversation, actually. Like,
Yeah.
I was on the Death Star, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which one? It's just little cute humour like that. Make this show what it is.
Yeah.
Even though it's a very serious show tonally, it has these inside jokes almost.
Yeah.
Like in season 1 with the stormtroopers shooting at the...
I love that. That was one of my favourite
things
scenes.
like that literally make me go, this show is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
A lot of people say this show is not likable if you're not a hardcore Star Wars fan, but I can get what they're saying in terms of, stuff, but
it's like, it is one of those though, like, it's still a funny scene to see them trying to, like, they're these troopers who are trying to shoot something and they miss it all the time. That's funny to see whether you know the history of stormtroopers of terrible aim or not.
Yeah.
So, I think most of the things they've done work either way. Like, as we were talking about the other day, where it was like for example, the Ahsoka reference being like, where's Thrawn? If you're not a hardcore Star Wars fan, that can potentially be a bit off-putting because you're like...
Gotta go Google who Thrawn is.
It's like, who's this? Like, because obviously we are very much not in this boat, but there are people who go, I don't want to watch the cartoon stuff. Don't want to watch Clone Wars, don't want to watch Rebels. So yeah, to them that's going to be like over their head and you risk people losing interest. But I don't think it should be the case. But anyway, we're going off topic again. Sorry.
We're just so excited.
Yes.
So from there on, the 4 girls... 4?
Well, no, we have Boba chasing the ship. So obviously the ship had to get on first.
Yeah, so that happens.
Because Boba's doing his good. Oh no, I keep missing my shots. Oh no. Oh, they're gone. Okay, let's just destroy the TIE fighters straight away.
Yeah, he kills the TIE fighters.
I love Boba.
Same. He's
and
fantastic.
Slave One.
Oh man,
so good.
I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
And then they basically force their way onto the Moff Gideon cruiser, I guess. So the shuttle folds in, scrapes through, which is again a great scene. Maybe Winston, no, they're gonna crash. And then the 4 girls kind of just storm through, the 2 Mandalorians.
I will say with that bit as well, with the 4 girls, because when other things have done I hope this comes across in a non-sexist way. Like when other films have done a girl power moment, like the one that pops in my head is Avengers Endgame. It's very obvious they go, hey, these are all the women, they're doing their cool moment.
Yeah.
I didn't actually clock it was just girls doing all that stuff, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Until it was kind of pointed out.
Well, I think this goes back to, a lot of people complained about Star Wars being we just don't like, they don't like female lead characters. That's not the case at all. No one has ever said they don't like female lead characters. We just like good characters.
Yes.
Rey was not a good character. Rose was not a good character.
Yeah.
Cara Dune, Bo-Katan, these are good characters.
Yes, they are.
They were just portrayed well. They had an objective that they stuck to. They didn't just suddenly become Mary Sue's and there was good storytelling. And it worked. And I've not seen anyone complain about anything like that.
No,
so
actually, I thought it was just so well done. Like I said, when you don't realise it's happening, that's the best way because then afterwards you go, oh, actually no, that was just I hate saying the thing, but like a girl power moment.
Yeah.
But it was done in the best possible way, in my opinion. And that's how things should be done. Yeah,
I think it was actually Kathleen Kennedy after Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker came out and said that people just don't like female leads and they're sexist. But don't quote me on that. It's something along those lines, but that's just.
But it's that attitude that makes it worse, and it's just
This was fantastic, and all it's down to is good storytelling. It doesn't matter the sex, the gender, that's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The race, it just doesn't matter. So. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from there, they go and do that.
Sorry, things keep popping back into my head. No, when Cara's gun jams, and it's just do they jam?
Well, ironically, that gun is apparently pretty bad on Battlefront 2 as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so was it a reference to that?
I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, it was just one of those moments where I had, can a laser firing gun jam?
They overheat. I don't know if that's the case, but yeah.
But yeah, sorry, carry on.
It was still really cool, but she's like, head on the floor and just... Anyway, so Mando walks out of the ship, looks super badass, and starts moving through the ship to try and find Grogu. He, of course, comes across... This scene was like hard. Actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologise. So, Dark Troopers.
They are so badass.
They are terrifying.
Yes.
Terrifying is what they are. When he started shooting them, and it wasn't even like flinching, like the one that came out, the fact that he was fighting one and couldn't do anything. Like he fired his wrist the thing, I forgot what it's called. But when that did nothing, and the others were still banging the glass, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna get out of this.
Yeah. It is one of those things as well, like seeing it in live action, I feel like it was taken more seriously. Like, obviously this is a very generalised statement here, but most of the droids in all the cartoony stuff, like Clone Wars and all, there's a bit of comic relief with them. Because obviously you've got, I hope I get these right around. So the B1 battle droids are the, like, clankers. Yeah, and B2 are the big silver. Yeah. The B2 ones, when we saw them in the first season as the flashbacks, they looked incredible, but they're kind of taking a bit more jokey in the cartoons. Like, not jokey, but they seem weaker. Yeah. So seeing these now in the only live action, it makes them more threatening in my opinion. I hope that makes sense.
The red eyes as well, and how it wasn't just like a clear red glow. It was like just everything about them was fantastic. They just looked solid. And when Mando lit him on fire as well. Yeah. One, that looked visually amazing, and two, it's just terrifying. Yeah. But anyway, Beskar staff for the rescue. Yeah.
Sorry. The bit when he's getting punched in the head.
Oh man! And the helmet is just perfectly perfect.
Beskar is
going into the thing.
Yeah, Beskar is so strong. Like I've always like it's like the strongest thing that they know of, kind of thing. But you never really have a reason to understand how strong it is. If you know what I mean, there's never a moment until that when the fact the wall's caving in rather than his head, and like, but imagine that feeling of just being like boom 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 boom. You're just like, whoa.
Insane. There's some brain damage right there.
Yeah.
So, Beskar staff for the rescue.
Yes.
That droid's out of the way. Yep. And then he basically flushes the other ones out into space.
Yes.
With one pull of a lever. Fantastic. Then, he moves into the, I guess, prison cell?
Yeah, just the holding chamber, whatever it is.
And the most heartbreaking image ever of Moff Gideon holding the Darksaber above little sweet Grogu's head.
Yes.
And it's sad. I'm guessing those handcuffs are like force-resistant handcuffs.
Yeah, they must be or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But straight away, my heart and my brain were just like, if they kill him off right now... Because I actually watched this episode delayed. I have like a watch party on Sundays, and it's just how I've done it all the way through since the start of Mandalorian. And I had to avoid spoilers for a day and a half. And I saw people saying they cried. Yeah. So I was like, oh no, they're gonna kill Grogu. So I was panicking a bit, but yeah, that whole scene was fantastic. And when Moff Gideon was like, you know, as long as I can keep the saber, I've done what I wanted with him. You can have him. Just leave, and that's it. When he did that, I was like, he does seem like a quite switched on, practical, logical sort of bad guy. Yeah. So maybe he is going to, but then he fakes it and tries to kill Mando. Luckily, Mando's made out of Beskar. So we had a cool little fight there. We get to see the Darksaber in action for the first time. Yeah. And it is the coolest looking lightsaber ever.
Oh, it's just something else. Like,
so
and
cool.
As well, the guy who plays Moff Gideon. Oh, I can't remember the actor's name, but obviously most people will originally know him from Breaking Bad. Yeah. He's such a good bad guy.
He's phenomenal.
He's just so intimidating, despite the fact he's not a big person or anything. He's not like physically intimidating.
He's also one of the main bad guys in The Boys, James.
That show.
Starts the same voice.
He just brings it up another level. He does.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. And then we got to see the Beskar staff versus Darksaber fight. That was hinted at subtly at the start of the episode, and it was amazing. Then this is where we start to get to the good stuff. Yep. Mando takes Gideon to the bridge of the ship, I guess, where Bo-Katan is waiting for the kept alive Gideon. Now this is where it gets awkward, because Moff Gideon finds something funny. And he reveals that in order to have the Darksaber, which gives you the right to the Mandalore throne, it has to be won and taken off the previous owner in battle. Now, obviously, Mando did that from Moff Gideon.
Yeah, I just love that moment where Mando, I yield.
Yeah.
It's like, yes.
So obviously, despite Mando voluntarily trying to pass the saber on to Bo-Katan, we have this moment of massive tension where Moff Gideon is explaining that it's not the saber that gives you the right, it's the story of how you won it.
Although, I do have to question at this point, though. What did Bo-Katan expect to happen? I know they expected Moff Gideon to be on the bridge, and that's why she would have fought him.
Yeah.
But they must have also known that there's a very good chance he was not going to be where they expected him to be. And if Mando did find him, the only way he could then bring him would be by defeating him. Unless they could somehow choreograph their fight all the way to the bridge. At the moment that he wasn't there, then it was obvious the only way he was either... Mando was either gaining the Darksaber or he was dying.
Yeah.
So
I think this is where Season 3 is going to lead, and it's going to be the main story of Season 3. It's going to be...
Yes.
I don't want to say a battle for the throne of Mandalore, but I think maybe Bo-Katan's going to agree to help Mando and be like, look, I'm going to help you, I'm on your side, but at some point I'm going to have to beat your ass for that saber.
But I think that's a whole subject for another video.
Yes. So, at this point then, we see the terrifying dark troopers basically fly back through space and land back on the ship. At this point, we're all like, oh damn, it's about to go down. So, we know that with Mando struggling with just one, 40 or whatever of them, the guys are screwed. So
another bit of dialogue from Moff Gideon when he's basically like, at the end of this, you'll all be dead and I'll be the one left alive. And he's just like...
Yeah. And it's, again, just brilliant. Brilliant performance from that guy. I've forgotten his name. Apologies, I feel terrible. But then, in the background, the second this happened, I had goosebumps all over my entire body. We just see an X-Wing fly into shot. And I've forgotten who says it now, but one of them says, one X-Wing, great. What's that going to do?
I think that's Cara,
I think. Fantastic. As soon as it was one X-Wing, honestly, I was just hands on face, just oh my god! Just trying to hold back the tears just in case what I was expecting was about to happen. I've got goosebumps just thinking about it now, man. And then for the following next 5 minutes, we just get the greatest TV ever. What we basically got was a TV good side version of Rogue One.
Yes.
The Vader scene. Everyone's favourite moment in the Disney Star Wars movies is Vader taking out the
It's literally
rebels.
the scene everyone has wanted since 1983. Since the last of the originals came out, everyone has gone, okay, when we get our Luke show.
Yeah, so Luke's super powerful now. When do we get to see it?
Does that mean 2020 is not that bad?
Yes, thank you, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
You left it till the end, but you gave us what we wanted before we were born.
Yeah, this entire season, even when you gave us Ahsoka,
that would have been enough.
You gave us Boba Fett, I couldn't have been happier. Now you've given us the Luke Skywalker we've always wanted. Now let's talk briefly about the look of Luke Skywalker.
Okay. See, there's been a lot of people going if you can't do it amazing, basically, if you can't be perfect, don't do it, which, in my opinion, is a ridiculous statement. But
to me, this comes down to, if this is all we're going to see of Luke, I'm happy that it looks like the Luke we know.
Yeah.
So doing the CG face, fine. If the rumours are true and we are having a spin-off show following the adventures of Luke Skywalker and presumably Grogu, then that's going to have to be a different actor. Rumours are Sebastian Stan. If that's the case, I would have preferred that to have been Sebastian Stan.
Yes.
As an introduction to him.
My only thought, this is more of a, I guess, behind-the-scenes kind of thought, is that they might have been going, okay, we got to get season 2 out, because obviously Mark Hamill announced he'd been involved with this for over a year. So, just first of all, the fact no one's leaked or spoiled anything for that is incredible as it is.
But what did he do?
Yeah, but even if it was just for the sake of him being no, this is what Luke would be. This is Luke. Just for the point of being this is the actual Luke.
Yeah.
But maybe it was a case of okay, we need to get out season 2 and see how it's reacted to before we commit to it. Because you never know, they probably had great thoughts about the sequel trilogy and going with all that. But maybe this time they went, okay, rather than get ahead of ourselves, we love it, but maybe they won't.
Yeah.
So let's get it out, let's do the season, and then if it's well received, we will contact Sebastian Stan, and might already have, obviously, and then we get into the works, rather than going, hey, we're doing this, and this Luke show, and everyone's like, don't want a Luke show anymore. Not that anyone would. So it might have just been after how badly things are received, they've kind of gone, let's see what happens before we commit anyone to it.
Yeah, and it's a sensible thing to do, for sure. So that's our thoughts on the Luke face. As for his costume, I was a little bit like, dude, have you not changed your clothes since you fought Jabba? Destroyed Jabba and the Emperor and Vader.
I suppose that's his. It's like having, I guess, like the stormtrooper armor, the Vader armor. That's the look that makes everyone go, no, it's Luke. I'm gonna die.
I'm glad they went with it, and the fact they kept the cloak on all the way through as well. Everything about it was just amazing, and the way he just force crushed that final trooper.
Yes.
Because the best thing about that was the build-up we had. We had the build-up of how strong they are, how undestroyable, indestructible, impenetrable they are. For that payoff of Luke just going and just crushing it. That whole episode built up to that for me, and that showed his true power. It's kind of like John Wick. The subtle things they say throughout the films to make you go, he's the best. Like the pencil thing. It's basically what they did to make Luke look even more powerful, and it just paid off brilliantly.
I am curious though. What if Grogu could have done that? Like, I wonder.
He's not that powerful.
No, but like that's what I mean. Like, how powerful in the Force do you have to be like?
True.
Because it always might be nice to see Grogu try and do something like that, and him fall asleep and be tired of it. Just the thing to go like, like even the Force isn't strong enough, and then you get Luke come in and go. But I'm not trying to rewrite anything. they did it perfect. Just yeah.
And then the final thing then is Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
His performance when he removed his helmet and had to say his goodbyes to Grogu. I spent a good 5 minutes fighting off tears. It was so emotional.
Like when Luke basically goes up and is like, he's asking for your permission. It's like, no.
And Luke says, I'll give my life to protect him. And you can see straight away that Mando is like, I trust this guy. And also, I just seen what he just did. I'll do what he says.
It's like, I'm not saying no to this guy. So.
But I do hope that Mando gets to see Grogu again.
I feel like you have to. After the way they've done these first 2 seasons, that can't be the end.
Yeah.
Like, it just can't.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, it's just...
so much...
And R2-D2.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about R2.
Yeah, just the fact that R2 came back, it's one of those which are like...
Grogu's just like, another shiny thing. Yay. Yeah.
But Grogu might remember R2, you never know.
True.
From back in the Jedi Temple and stuff.
You never know.
I mean, I don't know how well they recognise droids. It's always a hard thing to tell. They all look the same, but yeah, it's just...
I mean, as for our review, this cannot have anything...
Hated it. Worst episode ever.
It can't have anything but 10 out of 10. I mean, the way... It's not just the payoffs and the outcome of this episode and the outcome of the series. It's the way they've fantastically used the show to set up other shows.
Yes.
For example, Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Luke Skywalker. Like, all these things are leading to the things that we've always wanted as Star Wars fans. We've always wanted to see Ahsoka in live action and have her own story. See what she does going after Ezra and Thrawn. We've always wanted more Boba Fett. Who hasn't wanted more Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Since the legend stories of him surviving in the Sarlacc pit, we've always wanted it. Now we're getting it. Luke Skywalker. We've always wanted to see powerful Luke, Jedi Knight, bastard Luke Skywalker. We did not get that in the sequel trilogy. We got a grumpy old stupid man. So what they've done with this show is canonize the things that we want to see.
Yes.
Now, I've heard rumours that this timeline from episode 1 all the way to Mandalorian is following this, and then the sequel trilogy is like, whoop, alternate timeline. They're genuinely, apparently, considering it.
I mean, I think it would be stupid if they haven't at least had that discussion within themselves of going, okay, look, we messed up. We made a mistake. Hold up our hands. Yeah. Let's, rather than just, dig our heels in and be stubborn, we could throw so much more money, make so much more money if we just went, you know what? That's a what-if scenario.
Yeah. I mean, the whole stuff they played within Rebels with
the time.
Yeah, there's potential to do it, to set up an alternate universe.
Like, Ahsoka could end up going back to that, or whoever they find Ezra, and Ezra's like, yeah, I saw this one weird one with this guy called Snoke, and then there was another one over here with Outer Snoke, and you're like, oh my god, no Snoke, yay!
Yeah, it could be done. It could definitely be done. It's well within the realms of the Star Wars universe to do that.
Even if they make sequel trilogy is still a canon, and then these shows become the spin-off.
Yeah, like they become this would be my canon. I can speak for the two of us, I'm sure, when I say hopefully whatever they do to get rid of the sequel trilogy, the better. The only thing left to talk about with this episode is the post-credit scene. If you haven't seen it, it was really cool. We return to Jabba's palace on Tatooine, and man with breasts on his head, I've forgotten his name, I'm a terrible Star Wars fan. He has gained a lot of weight, and he has taken Jabba's place as leader of Jabba's palace, I guess. To which point, a Gamorrean guard, I think, falls down the stairs, if I remember right.
Yeah. So they hear the fire, something comes down, and one gets sent up, and like halfway up the stairs, it's just like...
It's basically the start of Return of the Jedi, essentially. And then Boba Fett comes down, kills that guy after trying to be like, oh, I wondered what happened to you. He tried to talk about it.
So good to see you again.
Get off, and then just sits on the throne. And then we just get fade to black, fade in, the book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Wow. So Boba is now getting his own show. So on top of everything that was announced last week, we now get a new show announced.
Yes. I can't. But they said as well, the book of Boba, and this is actually kind of a... Well, actually, I think we might need to go into this in a separate video with a what's next, because it's a whole thing of release dates. But I think at this point we have to say, gotta subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more episodes, because there's so much more discussions happening. So much more discussion? So many more discussions happening, if I can speak right.
Yeah. But I've got nothing else to say. I was blown away by this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it as well, and I hope you enjoyed us talking about it and reviewing it. I took 3 days to recover. And I'm still not recovered, so yeah. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, thank you so much. We love you. If either of those men walked in this room right now, I'd give them one straight on the lips. I'm just saying.
Okay. But from you guys, if you're watching and you've actually got to the very end of this video, let us know what was your favourite moment from the episode. And you can't just say Luke. You've got to say the moment of Luke. Yes, whether it's the crushing or just generally going through them all or the reveal, any of it. But I want a specific moment. What was your favourite?
Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas.
Yes.
And we will see you next time on History of Star Wars.
Bye, guys.
May the Force be with you.